I'm Marco Williams, the director of Freedom Summer.
In 1960, Mississippi had the lowest percentage of black citizens registered to vote of any state in the country, despite the fact that in many of the counties, blacks constituted a majority of the population. With less than 7% of blacks registered to vote, voter registration became the priority.
I don't know that this will be easy for an audience. I know that race is not something that people like to talk about, much less like to think about. But I'm hoping that people will willingly engage self-reflection on what it means to be an American in a racially diverse America.
A reputed Ku Klux Klansman says he's not guilty for the 1964 slayings of 3 civil rights workers in Mississippi.
I'm lucky, perhaps, because I have a built-in hook to my story, and that is what brings me to this town at this time. There is something going on right now that gives me a lens back into history.
Mr. Killen, you've been charged with 3 counts of murder. Do you have any comment at all, sir?
This is the first time the state has sought criminal charges in this case. Victims James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Schwerner had been registering voters.
We're in the American South. We're at a place where a significant event occurred over a generation ago. We're here at the place of a murder story. And in some ways, my film deals with a murder mystery, a murder trial, but that's really just a way to kind of look more deeply at a set of issues that have confounded Americans for over 200 years. And that set of issues is race and race relations.
The 3 murdered civil rights workers were part of the 1964 Freedom Summer Project, in which hundreds of volunteers, many of them white college students from the North, went to Mississippi to work to end the disenfranchisement of black Americans in the state.
When I decided to make this film, I thought that I was going to be able to use the day that these 3 guys went missing to tell the story of the efforts of black civil rights workers and leaders, the grassroots movement of Mississippi, and tell that story. But the minute you start talking about the white kids who went down to Mississippi, and the minute you start talking about the white guys who get killed in Mississippi, that becomes the story. I try to bury the lead, as they say in journalist terms. I try to make the disappearance of the 3 guys the middle of the story, not the most significant moment. But I actually got caught in the same trap. It's now the tease. It opens the story. And in fact, it is the story. That's why America cared about this moment. So it became much more challenging for me to find a way to still make sure that people knew that there were many whites who were committed to the cause. But at that moment in our history, it was the efforts of black Americans that was making the difference. The story that I'm doing is personal to me. It's personal to me because this part of our history has helped make me who I am today. This moment in American history has allowed me to be the American that I am.